Nigerians, another beautiful Thursday, another beautiful Thursday. And whenever it's a Thursday, no say we're done ready to give an agbas goes and very explosive conversation. Now we get most Thursdays. Welcome to Update with Precious. Another beautiful day to bring an update of things we dey share for inside Nigeria. As usual, it is always sweet my belly to bring an update of everything when they happen for inside Nigeria. And of course, we don't come on a table again to bring those things and we be say the share for inside Nigeria. Well, as usual, before I bring our Thursday tonic into the house, make I run on through the hot topics that must see the hot this evening for inside Nigeria. Sharp. All right, so insecurity allegations don't spring up, don't erupt as Nigerians claim say APC they run kidnapping business. Wetin come concern ruling party and kidnapping business? Why una dey do like this? Why una dey do like this? Well, we go talk about that matter. Now, wetin make we dey here? Sharp, make we enter inside of that matter. Stop foreign headers from entering Nigeria. They are smugglers of weapons. Fulani headsmen don't advise Tinubu government. Say, okay, now those headsmen they went up from Nigeria, and then they cause problem for Nigeria. They bring insecurity, they bring a gun, they bring different bad weapons in the entire our country. I better stop them, they don't enter our country again. Mieti Allah, they claim, say Fulani pastoralists have faced genocide in Nigeria for 25 years, from Kebbi to Benue State. In case you don't understand. Mieti Allah, they talk, say, oh, say Fulani people don't face genocide for Nigeria. Say if you go from Kebbi all the way to Benue State, say they kill them. Why? Hey, this is not good at all. All right, we'll move on. Meanwhile, it get to do with waiting Donald Trump talk, say, you know what, and waiting US Congress talk, say, you know what, Nigeria must ban Sharia law and disband Hisbah and all those ones who concerned. Hey, Murik don't vex. In fact, this particular matter, it ball on inside of social media. As people don't vex, say, Nigeria, we're a sovereign nation. You do not have the right to tell us how to do anything about ourselves. And the thing we did for inside our constitution, you don't get right to tell us not to do that. But people, they talk, say, wait, so you're comfortable that your religion is mentioned over things about your religion. They mentioned different times, over 50 times, 50 something times, 3-4 times in our constitution. But the things about the other religion, who they mentioned once inside the constitution of Nigeria. And we say we they secular state. And you they happy, Abi. As I talk to you now, what did they call him? Murik don't talk. Say US plot against Sharia. Say it will destroy Nigeria because call it work. Say this one where US one made them stop his Sharia. Say you know go work at all. Say the thing will destroy Nigeria. And waiting Murik they talk. All right, we will talk about that one when we reach. And then Nigeria Army don't rescue Plateau Reverend after gun battle with kidnappers. This one I say as Ibi say Reverend Father Achi don't die for their hand. Reverend Father Achi, I say Reverend Father Archbishop Venerable Achi don't die for their hand, and Venerable Achi wife and daughter still did their hand, and now they come kidnap a Reverend Father Ezema. He did their hand too yesterday. That one too now for Kaduna State now they kidnap them, but this one now they don't rescue. We pray say the other ones them may they feel rescue them too the same way. And then NS Ogaribado don't talk say Nigeria is the only functioning democracy in the entire Sahel, and say we must protect them. So we're not going to tolerate any kind of thing we go bring wahala for inside this country. Meanwhile, it get to do with self-defense. Oga Bishop Kuka don't talk, say, they warn, they drag hand for, he say, self-defense by communities no go end insecurity for Nigeria. But wait, Oga, calm down. Oga Kuka just calm down. Oga Kuka, before you been talk, say, Christians, they suffer well for Nigeria for the insecurity we did. But right now, for inside this regime now, within this year, you don't come talk, say, no, say they need to persecute Christians, so say the badness that happen for Nigeria no be against Christians. Now you don't talk now, say, even if Nigerian Christian communities, then when they attack, react, say, you know, go end the security. Okay, waiting one end them. If you don't talk, say, Christian genocide, no day. And maybe now waiting make it no good, make Donald Trump come. And then if Donald Trump no kill them for us, nobody feel kill them for us. And then now, if the community is gone, they put hand, they no go fit kill them. So which one you want make them do? Which one you want more do now? Waiting Nigerians they tell them be this. But then let's move on very quickly. Gunmen don't abduct 2 Chinese nationals from inside construction site for Kwara State. And then APC chieftain Saheed Adewale Oriade, they don't babam. Gunmen don't carry from inside the Ibadan. Kidnapping, Senate don't insist, say death penalty for perpetrators, financiers, informants, everybody will consign them, will relate to them, they will collect, they go chop death penalty. And Ogaribado don't say any attempt to spread terror will face decisive action. And it's Ribado. Now they won this one. And then August Sanusi, Emir Sanusi, they talk, say, we'll go fight drug abuse till be finished for inside this country. Meanwhile, President Tinubu don't swear in General Musa as defense minister. And then security, Enugu don't say, waiting with the launch operation, Enugu operation Kwechiri, as Enugu don't deploy 320 vigilantes. Say, our forest, we hear say that they come, they near our forest. Operation Kwechiri, come here, Kwechiri, yeah. So that 320 vigilantes make gonna come gather our forest then. Inside other matter, them NNPCL don't slash fuel price second time for the last 1 week. With the hope say we feel better small because motorists they complain about the price of fuel. Tinubu they focus on 2027 campaign as state of emergency. See they on say this one no good at all. ADC don't raise alarm. Say Oga resign because the little way your head now 2027. Nigeria welfare no day your head Oga resign. In fact, why you should step aside ADC to Tinubu over distribution of re-election cars. Oya resign. I beg. I know they see this one. This one not be infringement. On they see well, two Zamfara lawmakers defect from APC to PDP. That one saved the grant. Ndibo greatest stakeholders in Nigerian project. President Tinubu 90 talk this one. CBN now remove limit on cash deposits, raise weekly withdrawal limit. That one said day. And then court don't hear the Kanu motion seeking his transfer from Sokoto prison. We'll also talk about that one. And then as it gets to do with other matter, Obi ADC coalition shaky over unresolved zoning arrangements. Say ADC coalition they shake, you know stand well because of whether they don't want to talk whether they want zone or they don't want zone. And then PDP crisis deepens as Wike-backed faction affirms counter expulsion of Makinde, Bala Muhammad and others. Expel and counter expulsion. I know we killers. Appeal court declares VIO illegal in Nigeria, awards 1 million naira to Abuja motorists. Tinubu 6 Senate confirmation of 65 ambassadorial nominees, and then bill to reduce extreme poverty scales second reading for Senate because on a senators then getting up on mind where they say we cannot be enjoying Nigeria without people enjoying it. So anything will go make us end extreme poverty and make we end them. We don't pass second reading and make we hope see as it could take B, and we'll look into the content of that bill too. Now, Bayelsa court don't ignore domestic workers' allegations of torture or accept confessions in ex-First Lady Patience Jonathan's jewelry theft case. And then Taraba activist raises alarm over arrest plot by Minister Maigari for exposing 16.5 billion Nam9 bridge scandal. Hey, it's exposed scandal. Your life is in trouble. NSA Ribado, Nigeria is only functioning democracy. I don't tell another one, so we could protect this our democracy as now be the only functioning one for the Sahel. Meanwhile, Lagos medical doctor Olaleye, previously jailed for sexual offences in Nigeria, to be arraigned in UK courts tomorrow, Friday. Judiciary workers Johnson shuts down courts in Kogi amid indefinite strike over government neglect. All this matter and more now if we feel they put our eye and our mouth inside as they start the show today. Joining us inside the studio now, Oga Catch Ononoju. Thank you so much as a fellow stay this evening. Thank you so much. Good evening,
Thank you for having me. It's good to be here with you again.
Thank you, sir. So after the last time we talked, a lot of other things don't happen now because just like we thought, we think say, oh, US for us back down. You know, say Nigerian government don't set up committee will go help us work. What they say we follow work with US so that they say the US will share intelligence with us on how we will use fight the terrorism. So they can set up committee to use follow with US. Next thing we come to US and they tell us to go back Sharia law, disband this one and that one. And this one don't vex a lot of people because Muslims in Nigeria don't like this one at all. See, Morik they vex. Morik say this one they won't start Nigeria with this kind of thing when they don't do. How US go there for where they day for their country? They tell us inside their country, no go ban waiting there inside our constitution. You know this thing is constitution. So why we go back? We're a sovereign nation. This one, it costs a lot of but with all of this development really come up for waiting get to do with our joint body with US, make me take your thoughts and reactions concerning it. Plus, including, so I not tell you, somebody for inside the same US, you know, so they like to gossip to you, waiting happen, you know. Somebody for US yesterday in the US lobbies, named Elias, he gave mind the talk, saying they give our President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the same treatment that they give Maduro of Venezuela. See, because of say our president said if the Venezuela president they carry drug, Say our president self gets drug matter we get for US. Now people say, you know, they fear. What sitting president of Nigeria now they talk something they tell that kind thing. You see, this US people they don't get respect for our sovereignty. As make a report they give you. Sorry, sir. Now make I take your take. Thank you, sir.
Uh, well, you need to understand Nigeria is a secular country, but a lot of illegality has occurred, and those illegalities we think they will go away. You know, trying to Islamize the country, that's what the US think is the first one. Try remove those ambiguous suppositions and illegal things being done by those who simply want to Islamize the country. So I don't see anything wrong if the US does that. So first things first, Lurik has no right to say what it says, but of course, it's a noisy organization. They could say what they want, but who cares? I am 100% with the US intervention in Nigeria.
But
I
you know, Muslim things they inside our constitution. For instance, people they talk say, oh, things about Grand Card they mentioned for our constitution, Islam, and things about and they mentioned for our constitution. Even though it's nothing about Christianity, they mentioned for our constitution. So most of these things when they do, they will tell you say, oh, it is constitutional. So is it right for another country to tell a sovereign nation like Nigeria what's in the good? Now, what make Lurik say this thing what they do like this, you go scatter Nigeria, so it go cause problem for Nigeria.
And there's nothing wrong. If the Nigeria is not working as it is, if the Morik or whoever think we can start afresh and sit down to write a constitution. The manual given to us by soldiers as Decree 24, we simply hold on to it because the decree also wrote a lot of things that have made changing of that constitution very difficult. So you call it constitution, as call it as a manual. So I think the attempt by the US to reset a lot of these illegalities is well very welcome.
So you think
So
Sharia is an illegality?
of course it is.
How
Nigeria
so?
is a secular country, and it
Mhm.
shouldn't be Sharia-nized. This is part of our problem. The Muslims do things that are not in line with the law, and we think those things are what's damaging the country. Stoning young girls to death, and they're taking laws into their hands, just like you've seen the current people who are doing a jihad. Those things are illegal. So a lot of wrong things are happening in the country that are not proper. If we can reset them, fine. Let us reset them so that we can start afresh. And then if that's not going to work, I don't know. We could sit down. And I think all this is leading us to ultimately go sit down and then restructure our terms of association, which I think it's where the jihad may simply force us to approach.
Hmm. Okay, sir. All right, make we begin look at the things and what don't also happen recently. As the B say, you know, the first of all, it get to do with, you know, say they've been stuck Oga Christopher Musa before the last time we be say me and you talk. Next thing now, come say Christopher Musa don't come back. And Oga Badore don't resign. That is the Minister for Defense. He say, you know, when he resign. Now people can say what thing they happen here. Some people they insinuate say, oh, now US hand dey inside. They say US been tell Oga Tinubu say it is some people where you come out and where you go put. If you know say you know want to carry our guns are blazing enter your country. Oh. Why some people they talk say no, maybe not Oga Tinubu na don't now maybe as Oga Badore resign because say no well. Oga Tinubu look and say, oh, make I call back Christopher because no. What do you think say be the game where they go on? By the way, they don't swear in Oga Christopher Musa today. And it gets a lot of things so if you say a talk concerning the security of our country. Make we hear from you, sir.
Well, in regards to the genocide was enabled by the operation which is uh, called Do Not Engage. And that some Muslims got to tell the soldiers not to engage, to stop the killers whenever they see indigenous Nigerians being attacked by this Fulani jihadist militias, specifically of the Mieti Allah Ganda cultural horrors. the Gandokoi, and the Tabital Polako. And it looked like the country's president was weak. He didn't know what to do. And the sponsors and patrons and sympathizers of these jihadi groups were firmly in power. And that was why the country was going the way it was going. So the US intervention has simply given the president the encouragement and the help that he needs to try to reset. So you've seen General Christopher Musa brought back, whom people thought was released because of his beginning to tell soldiers to engage. If you see any sign of danger, anybody attacking Nigerians, engage to shoot and remove such persons. So those who didn't like that style worked against him and he was removed, and all that brought outrage. That's why you saw, as he's being brought back, there was a lot of joy and jubilation across the country. So we are very happy that he's been brought back. And as you can see, he made a suggestion that the do not engage doctrine should be reversed. And we think that will allow, if they engage with that same thinking he has, that the 60 days which we have been given will be fit for him to, within that 60 days, achieve something that could be appreciated by not only Nigerians but also the international community. The truth is that the patrons and the some of the sponsors of terrorism seized control of government. And the president was busy plotting for how he will be re-elected in 2027. And that's why he didn't want to offend those patrons and sponsors of the terrorist groups.
Sir,
So
I don't
when they,
understand. Wait, sir. You said the sponsors of terrorism seize power for Nigeria. How, sir?
yes, Nigeria practically was under state capture by a Sunni minority. That's the fact. And that minority gained so much influence in government. That's why you saw the Nigerian state refusing to act on the names which it got from Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates regarding the sponsors of terrorism. As I'm speaking to you, some people in government are still saying they cannot perform open trial of these people, and they're giving you all sorts of mundane reasons why the government cannot act. But the United States seems to be going forward on its own to put sanctions on these people, to put travel bans on these people, to put restrictions on movement of money concerned to these people, to penalize them with visa restrictions. And of course, Nigeria was also asked to publish these names. Why did you get names of terrorist sponsors and you're refusing to make them public? So I think the US intervention, which alongside comes the US prudence, which of course is now forcing the Nigerian government to wake up to its responsibilities, are the reasons that you're seeing this acrobatics in government in the past 72 hours. Nigerians welcome it. We know that the 60-day window that has been given to the Nigerian government to perform or have the United States government come into Nigeria to take charge to perform and get rid of these encumbrances against the smooth running of states. A lot of Nigerians have gradually woken up to these realities. A lot of us welcome it. I believe the U.S. intervention is the best Christmas gift that Nigerians have gotten in a very long time. It has put the sponsors and the patrons of terrorism who are in government, who use promotion of violence to actually gain access into government. The world was watching them, Nigerians were watching them, but of course, a lot of Nigerians were docile and some more were very afraid, because now you believe that these sponsors and patrons of terrorism are now in charge of very principal positions in government. There's nothing you could do. That's why I said it is a state capture. Elections are not free and fair. The democracy doesn't have an opposition. And all that is as a consequence of people being very afraid for their lives. Governors being afraid, crossing over from the party that elected them into the ruling party out of fear. That not only stifles the democracy, but kills the competitive nature of choice in our democracy. That's not good for our democracy. Never mind the words of Udugbai Ibadan. What we have in Nigeria today is civilian governance, not actually a democracy. So that's why we are very happy for the intervention by the U.S. administration in Nigeria.
So, sir, there's something you said about the sponsors of terrorists and why they cannot be publicly shamed or named. And I'm very worried about that. This is not because of, say, during the week, we get an interview. I mean, the interview, we said the chairman of the House of Representatives Committee on Defense, Jimmy Benson, been go viral because of the response we give about this same issue. Make we listen to that in response so that you can understand what make it very troublesome. Because for that interview when get it talk say this same thing when you talk now, talk you say the sponsors of terrorism cannot be tried openly. Then people they talk say, but they can attack people openly and real lives will die openly. Then why can they not be tried openly? Let's take a listen to him and then I'd like to take a reaction to that.
If you know the financiers, you don't try them in public. A lot of them are being under the scrutiny. They've been under the scrutiny for a long while.
No,
but these are not
trial is different from tracking
by scrutiny.
Yeah,
I mean trial. I mean identified.
Yeah, but why is it hidden? I don't understand.
Some of them local, international. Right? So, trust me, it's not as if the government is not doing anything. The government has done a lot. In recent times, under the administration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, a lot is being done. A lot of them can't even ever think of financing anybody anymore.
Yeah, but
so
who are these people?
Work is in progress.
Who are these people? Why can't we know who they are?
No, the security.
I don't understand how you mean
security. You don't put their names.
If somebody is a criminal and is killing people and has led to the deaths of people, it is a major success for the government if that person is brought to book.
Yes,
and it shows the rest of us that the government is doing
a responsible government would also showcase that person at the appropriate time.
And when might that be?
Very soon. Very, very, very soon. Trust me, work is in progress. The government is working. They're tracking. They're trying, these people, and there's a lot of international help as well.
So, Dr. Kachsa, I don't know if you heard the things he said in that interview. It's very worrisome. People they talk say, how can a sitting lawmaker say publicly that the people who are killing and committing genocide or who are sponsoring those who are committing genocide against Nigerians cannot be tried openly? Like it will be
Well,
dangerous for them to be tied. Why? Why? What exactly is happening? Why? Is this the same reason why the last administration refused to, release the names that the UAE gave to Nigeria? And do you think it's the
no,
same reason why President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is yet to also do same?
what I have told you is the truth. These sponsors and patrons of terrorism have become so successful that they now occupy powerful positions.
Okay, I think I've had his network. I think his network is interrupted. Dr. Kacha, I don't know if you're there. Are you there, please, sir?
Are you there?
Yes, yes, we can hear you now. Go ahead, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
These
Well,
sponsors of terrorism have become so successful by using terrorism to gain access to political power that a lot of them now dominate sensitive and powerful positions in government. That's why you're seeing that pushback from the gentleman. It's like when we talked about going to attack the terrorists, and you had some of the sympathizers, like the former Minister of Defense who was forced out, saying, no, you can't bomb them, that this and that, or the Minister of State who also said no, that some of these people, they are not really criminals. You're saying the man is a terrorist, and you're saying he's not a criminal, that he's doing it because he's reacting. So what he thought was done to him by the Yansakai. The Yansakai are Hausa vigilantes. So what we are saying now is the sponsors and patrons of terrorism are heavily embedded in government. They occupy front row seats. And that's why you saw that gentleman trying to make a case for them that they shouldn't be exposed or be embarrassed. But thank God for the American intervention. We will end up seeing who these people are. You can't tell me that criminals should not be exposed, criminals should not be embarrassed, criminals should not be made to be known by society. That is a very senseless pushback. But as I can tell you, this is just the beginning. This is the same reason why the Buhari administration refused to touch those sponsors of terrorism. And that was why they got so emboldened that they now started practicing ethnic cleansings in the public. That's why you're seeing them publicly engage in denial of the mass killings that have been going on in the country. That's why you've seen them trying to rationalize the jihad by those who have been killing Nigerians across the Benue Strait, the Plateau areas, in Taraba State, in Southern Kaduna, and other parts of Nigeria. They are the same people who have found the houses as expendable collateral damage, killing them anyhow. And when you say, why are you killing Nigerians? They say, of course, but we're also killing houses.
apologies, Dr. Kacha. I think the network is really bad where you are. So sorry. So sorry for that network interruption. All right. Whilst we try to get Dr. Catch back, I'd like to quickly play the, swearing in of the Chief of Defense Staff. Did I say Chief of Defense Staff? Now Minister for Defense, Christopher Musa. Listen to what he has to say, James.
Houses are
Yes, sir.
Muslims,
Go
so
ahead.
I can hear you.
All right. Go ahead,
You
sir.
can,
Go ahead.
yes, you cannot do jihad without killings. So for them to engage in jihad in 2025, and then we now say, why are you killing Nigerians? And they said, no, it's criminals. So if criminals are killing, where is the place of the state? The most fundamental duty of the state is the protection of lives and property. So why was the state complicit in the killings? Because the sponsors and the patrons of the killers are now in power. And now
Hmm.
you're talking about trying them. Some people are coming to say, no, no, you don't try them. You don't need to embarrass them. You don't need to expose them in public. They are this, they are that. These are just stories. But as we continue to push due to the US pressure, we will get to have them exposed. Forget the story. No criminal deserves to be protected from public view. Once you have broken the laws of the social contract, you have become a criminal. You've left the good side of society to now go to the bad side. You should be shamed and exposed so that society will see and learn about you, and that could deter others from also repeating your mistakes. That's the idea, you know? But you can now see, because of how powerful these people are, as it was under the Buhari administration, because for the first time in Nigeria's history, people now invested in violence as a strategy towards gaining political power. And because a lot of them who actually invested in that violence successfully became employed in states, as they are now members of government, those who work with them do not want them exposed. But of course, as we know, these pushbacks will come. They're not going to just give up power, as you have seen. We know this is what they are doing. We're not going to stop pushing. Don't forget what I'm doing now. This is a war of the narratives. We push our own narratives, they push their own narratives. And the more we sustain our propagation of our narratives, the more the world will hear. If we stop to push our narratives, then they will defeat us by swarming over us. What I'm telling you is, because they have successfully used violence and its employment as terrorism to gain access to political power, people are now arguing that they should not be embarrassed. What kind of mundane story is that? Once criminals are brought to court, society sees who these criminals are.
Because Nnamdi Kanu was tried for terrorism in public. I mean, someone else also just stated it. So if he can be tried, someone whose intent, at least we know, wasn't that of terrorism, but to fight for the liberation of his people. If he can be tried for terrorism in public, then why people will be say they sponsor the massacre and genocide of Nigerians not going to be tried publicly? It's not adding up, and people are just worried that, is it that the government is also buying this idea of not trying them in public? Are they in cahoots with government? That now what some people they ask. We make they pure, clear for eye. Why people go say they not try them in public, but any other criminal can be tried publicly. Why?
Because these criminals, this class of terrorists are successful. They have gotten access to political power. Nnamdi Kanu didn't get access to political power. That's why those who use terrorism to gain access to political power can now be shielded from being embarrassed, because they have become senior government officials and highly placed persons in society. That is all.
All right. So what
It
do you
is,
think played out? What do you think played out with the resignation of Oga Badere, the Minister for Defense? What do you think played out? Because some people feel saying a pressure on US put for Oga
well,
President to make it come out some people near. Why some people saying that no, just well at all, they happy. And then some people also say the part of the US pressure and make it bring back Christopher Musa. Why some people also talk. So, say part of what in US Congress talk yesterday, and say one, say make sure say then stop everything we get to do with remove Sharia law from northern states laws, stop Hizbah operations, disarm Fulani Islamic militias, return displaced families to their homes, prosecute perpetrators of violence. And people they talk say this one go hard though for government to meet all of them. I won't use this arm the Fulani militias. So what do you think say happen or play out with Oga Badari and the pressure right now to also promote Oga Matawali?
Nothing you've said will be hard. All of them are easy to do. This will simply make the president prove that he's not in cahoots with the terrorists. Under Nigerian law, if a man is seen with stolen property, you will arrest that person, seize the property, restore the property after due process to the owner, and then prosecute the criminals who are seen with this property. That's why they said if you go to the land that had been stolen through this violent industrial scale ethnic cleansing, arrest the people that are on that land, remove the people on the land, return the owners of the land who are currently headed into IDPs as internally displaced persons, bring them back to their ancestral lands, remove
The
those
same land that
criminals.
is now occupied in those people that people have occupied and renamed. How possible would that be? Because that will cause another fight entirely again.
This is the problem. What
Yeah.
you're trying this listen now, this
Okay,
is the
sir.
problem because those who have used this terrorism to get to power are the ones who will say no. Allow us to keep what we have stolen. Allow us to keep the land that we have taken from these people. In short, you are lucky we didn't kill everybody before we took the land. This is where the problem is. And
Yay.
because they now have positions in government, they could start arguing that we cannot give up the land we have stolen, leave the land we have stolen. Why? There are no Nigerians who have been brought to these stolen lands. These stolen lands were used to resettle foreign Fulanis who came from Central Mali, who came from Central African Republic, who came from Burkina Faso, who came from the Gambia, when Buhari was saying that the Fulanis of the world should come from everywhere and come to Nigeria. The problem with that policy was Nigerians, like other Africans, are emotionally attached to land. Nigerians were not going to give up land. So when Buhari could not get land, that was what gave rise to the formation of the militias, of the Fulani militia gangs, like the Mieti Allah Kautohore, like the Gandakoyi and the Tabita Pulaku. These are the militia bands that were used to commit these waves of ethnic cleansings that now got the people removed from their land after others were killed. Those who were removed from the land were now headed into IDP camps, whereas imported people were now used in a demography alteration scheme to resettle on this land. So the US is asking, remove the indigenous owners of land from IDP camps, let them come and stay back in their areas. Prosecute after removing the new land thieves who are not Nigerians. Because if they are not Nigerians, let them go back to their place. That's just the issue. If they are Nigerians, let them return back to their states. This is the issue. When they asked that these foreigners will come to Nigeria with no visa under the Buhari administration, getting lands to resettle them became a problem. And the only way to gain this land was to now commit these ethnic cleansing actions, which over a long period of time has now been calculated to be the genocide against the owners of this land, which are mostly Christian communities in Benue, where the state is 98% Christian, Christian communities in Taraba, that's been a Christian majority state since the inception of democracy. Only Christians have been governors. Christian communities in Plateau, Christian communities in Southern Borno, in Southern Gombe, in Southern Bauchi, Christian communities in Plateau State, Christian communities in Niger State, Christian communities in Southern Kaduna. And we need these people returned back to their lands and the criminals removed. If they are Nigerians, let them go back to their states. Since they are not Nigerians, let them go back to their countries. This is the problem. That's why you saw the US Congress mentioning the Fulani militias. It
But
is
but
not
sir,
all Muslims.
but sir, the Mieti Allah themselves now don't they talk? Because I mean I heard them on channels television, I heard them on the I think Rice television too. They talk say now other criminal elements now they use their body, their name, their body because they know say then they now them be the most organized Fulani group. They use commit all these things. In fact, what did Allah even talk? He said they don't even
That
commit.
is not
He
true.
said they commit genocide against their people where well. So if you look at different states, from Plateau State to from Kebbi to Benue State, say they commit genocide against their people. Now just say they need to talk about them. So that means these people are also suffering their own fair share of the violence. So if they've been committing, if there's been genocide against the Fulani headsmen, sorry, as it were, then who would be the people they commit the attack against them? The network don't go bad. Sincerely. Can you hear?
Come
Can
in
you hear me,
again.
sir?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you. What
Okay.
it is, the
All right.
Mieti Allah itself,
I said the Mieti Allah cattle horror. Yes. They say
the
they don't
Mieti
commit
Allah
genocide
is a
too much against.
criminal
Say for
organization.
25 years, there's genocide against them. Okay, sir.
The Mieti Allah is a criminal organization. The
Eh?
Mieti Allah
Eh?
are known to have been on television with me arguing that what's going on is farmers' headers crisis. When we get off the set, we'll be talking privately. And I'll tell them, why are you lying? These people, you people want to put here are not Nigerians. So for them to have been used to do this, there are two Mieti Allahs. There is the Mieti Allah Cattle Breeders Association, Macban.
Yes.
There is the Mieti Allah Cattle Hori,
Horror.
led by
Yes.
Abdullahi Bello Bodejo. Bello Bodejo is from Niger Republic. He came into Nigeria, settled in Bauchi State, but set up his organization in Nasarawa State and was using that Mieti Allah Koto Hori militias to attack the Benue Basin because the Benue Basin has water and has grass. He did it for 8 years of President Buhari's presidency. And the Mieti Allah Cattle Breeders Association, MACBAN, will always come on television to come and argue for the rights of the Fulani to gain grazing land. They were pretending, trying to deceive Nigerians as if the problem was herders and farmers. It was not herders and farmers. They were simply looking for land to resettle Fulanis all over Nigeria. That was what happened. And when they could not get the land, they now set upon the industrial scale ethnic cleansing program to gain land on which to resettle those Fulanis. Now that the Hore, who also were using the name Mieti Allah, have been sanctioned by the US government, they are now coming to tell us that the Mieti Allah are also their name. The Mieti Allah means we thank God in Fulani. So they are, as I'm saying, a criminal organization. If a man is known to defend crime, if a man is known to defend criminals and their activities, he is implicitly part and parcel of it. The reasons why we say that the government is complicit is because the government gave the army instruction to look the other way and do not engage whenever they see these elements of the militia men attacking indigenous Nigerians for the sake of gaining ancestral land from them. That's why Nigerians were killed in thousands in a systematic strategy to gain land. When the government didn't do anything, that was why for over 6-7 years ago, I was on television saying that the government is complicit in the killings. So I am still saying it now, that the government is complicit in the killings. Yes, Tinubu will say that he didn't start it. It was started by Buhari, but he pledged that he will continue from where Buhari stopped. And so he's supportive of the old Buhari's program, which includes, among others, the ethnic cleansing actions of the Fulani militias, which has now been dubbed internationally as genocide against Christians. That's why he's guilty. And that's why you see, out of fear, they are shaking while obeying to carry out the instructions of the United States government. The U.S. administration has given them 60 days to do what they should do, or the U.S. will come here and do it for them. I am very optimistic.
So,
You will
so
see
with
a
it,
lot of things.
so with the resignation of Oga Chief of Defense, Minister for Defense Oga Badere, do you think that it will not be a problem for Tinubu 2027 election, re-election?
No, there is no problem. These people we are talking about, it is not possible for the Minister Badaru to superintend over the political decisions to go after the Fulani militias, since he is known to also share a soft spot for the Fulani intention, being a Fulani. So that's why you see this action is a collective decision by the Fulani ethnic group. And since they have done it and they have been caught with their pants down by the world, that's why whatever they get, including resignations, so that those that can do this will do it. I expect Christopher Musa to bring action in a fashion reminiscent of the fighting style of General Onyabo Ihejirika. Onyabo Ihejirika was also removed because he was harsh against these jihadists. President Goodluck thought by removing him that he will have the cooperation of these Fulani politicians for the 2015 election. But as you can see, they still went on to remove him. So you can't trust them. I don't think it's a good thing for anybody to trust the words of terrorism financiers, sympathizers, and patrons. Save the country first. Stop the industrial scale ethnic cleansing of Nigerians. Stop the massacring of Christians
Wouldn't
by
that be
these
termed as
jihadists.
profiling? Wouldn't that be termed as profiling if they call these people the financiers
Well, you
directly
call it
when their names
profiling.
never really come out?
It is the truth. You are the one calling it profiling. I am here in the war zone. I am telling you how my compatriots are being killed. You are telling me that because I am mentioning the people killing us, that we are doing profiling. There are Yorubas who are Muslims, but they are not doing this. There are Hausas who are Muslims, they are not doing this. Why is it only the Fulani doing this? So, in trying to be honest about those who have killed us, who are involved in this, I don't understand what you mean by profiling.
You know,
Those,
the reason I'm saying this is because President Bola Ahmed Tinubu today has been charged by Fulani headsmen in Nigeria's capital, Abuja. They have called on the president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and his government generally to immediately halt the entry of foreign headers into the country. In fact, saying at them might be cause problem, the foreign headers. he wanted, they warned that many of the foreign herdsmen smuggle weapons through Nigeria's porous borders and are responsible for the violence wrongly blamed on local communities and local Fulani. So that's what I'm saying, that if you mention an aspect of Fulani, will it not look like profiling if we, carry within a few they do, they use blame the others. Since these people now don't come talk, say not be them or say that the foreign headers, now in the cause problem. They don't tell President Tinubu to stop foreign headers from entering our country.
You are suffering from the effects of manipulative propagation. That's what you're suffering from. From the way you're talking, you are now you are showing the effects of manipulative communication. These are the criminals. They are not trying to blame the criminality could they have fomented on foreigners. Are foreigners the people in government? Are foreigners the people that have been able to bring protections for these criminals that have been killing Nigerians? Is it foreign headers that has engineered Nigeria's policy of do not engage? If it was foreign headers coming in to kill indigenous Nigerians, who are the big Fulani politicians that have been able to advise the army and security services not to engage, is it foreign headers? Don't you understand?
You
You
know,
are now exhibiting.
how about you
You
too?
are exhibiting.
Dr. Catch don't also
You are
talk before.
exhibiting the effects
When Musa,
of manipulative propagation. That's what you're exhibiting. So you have been affected by that. Listen, I am telling you how it is. This is who they are. They are going to blame it on people from the moon. It is the rat inside the house that informed the rat outside about where in the house the fish is hidden. It is them doing it. The foreign Fulani militias who come in to carry out the militia actions are quartered by them, protected by them, told about to government not to touch them. Remember when Matawale, the Minister of State, is saying they took to this criminality because they are not happy the way the Yansakai, the Hausa vigilantes were treating them. Is Matawale a foreign header? Badere, who has not been able to tell us who gave that order for the security men stationed at the school in Kebi
yeah.
45 minutes before the school was attacked. Is he a foreign header? It is the big boys here that have made these ethnic cleansings and genocide possible. Don't expect anybody now to blame the genocide on foreigners. President Buhari, is he a foreign header? Was he not the person who purposely took guns out of the hands of Nigerians and then allowed the foreign militias to come into Nigeria with all sorts of automatic weapons? Is President Buhari a foreign header? Don't get deceived by these people. They now want to blame their actions on foreigners. The people that we now want to have tried, the people that gentleman was telling you cannot be tried in public, are they foreign headers?
Oh yeah, network again. Dr. Cash, if you can hear me, I've been one also remind you, say you've been talk once when Shehu Sani talk, say the people where they commit this crime from Nigeria and they no be foreigners, and you say no, most of them are foreigners. And I waiting make me be one talk about this, but I hope so your network would they come back again, make we fit get a clear conversation, make we clear this. But very
The
quickly,
people that,
can you hear me, sir? Can you hear me?
yes, I can hear you.
You know,
Don't
you know,
forget
you know,
what
you know, you know. Say you been don't tell me before. Say when Shehu Sani talk, say the people where they do these things, say them from Nigeria. You talk, say no, say them be foreigners. So now what make me
yes.
they talk and say now the Fulani people don't agree now, say na foreigners they commit this crime. Why you now calling one talk say na Nigerians now they do this one?
It is Nigerians that brought them in. The foreigners
Oh,
are just hired hands. It is the Nigerians who brought them in to come and do this business for them. It is not the
Okay.
foreigners that brought themselves in. It is Nigerians who hired them to come here and do the killing. So you don't blame foreign headers. It is Nigerians who are giving them money today. Nigerian people in government are known to. It was Nigerians who made the appeal a fortnight ago that these criminals should be put on the budget. Dalhatu, is he
Okay.
a foreign header? Don't you
Okay.
understand this issue?
Yes, I do.
These
Yes, I
people
do.
are well tuned in their ways. It is the Nigerians who have now hired foreign criminals to come and kill us. Just like I'm telling you, it is foreign criminals who are occupying those lands in Plateau, in Benue, and other places. Who are the ones that brought in these foreigners to come and live on our land? It is the Nigerians. It is these Nigerians that have funded it, that we now say put on trial. You are now saying don't put them on trial. Don't expose their faces. Are they foreign headers that we are going to put on trials locally? The people that the Americans are asking to be named and exposed, are they foreign headers? So don't listen to this kind of lies. They are trying to play games, but because these things are known and because these particular things are catalogued, nobody will tell us. It has happened for over 10 years. I told you before, this is a slow motion war. And we are not going to allow them to get away free. That is the beauty. What you now have are the narration war. As I sustain the narration of what happened to us, and those in Plateau talk about what happened to them, they too will start now to try to counter us with all sorts of lies, foreign headers. Then Sheikh Usani will tell you they are Nigerians. So why are you trying to now lie? That tells you these people are very shifty people. The evidence with the Americans is real. The memories that we hold in regards to what happened to us is real. Nobody will take away my memory. And the memory of what happened has not yet left my thoughts. It has not faded from me.
Okay.
And that's why I'm able to recite it to you.
All right, sir. So I would like me to listen to waiting Oga Christian Promoter talk, why then they swear him in, and then waiting in talk, and then make you tell us the possibility of him going. Why is he more trusted to handle this ministry than Battery? But we could just listen to waiting in talk first.
The Minister of Defense designate of
Battery,
Oyo
rather.
State is called.
That's him with the Holy Bible.
Swear that I will faithfully and bear true allegiance to the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and that I will preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So help me God. Oath of office are: do solemnly swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the Federal Republic of Nigeria, that as Minister of the Government of the Federation, I will discharge my duties to the best of my ability, faithfully and in accordance with the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and the law, and always in the interest of sovereignty, integrity, solidarity, well-being of Nigeria. That I will strive to preserve the fundamental objective and directive principles of state policy contained in the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. That I will not allow my personal interest to influence my official conduct or my official decisions. That I will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. That I will abide by the Code of Conduct contained in the 5th Schedule to the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. That in all circumstances, I will do right to all manner of people according to the law, without fear or favor. directly or indirectly communicate or reveal to any person any matter which shall be brought under my consideration or shall become known to me as Minister of the Government of the Federal Federation, except as may be as Minister. So help me God. Thank you very much. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Senate President, NSA, Chief of Defense Staff.
Handshake.
Okay. NSA, sir. NSA.
Thank you, sir. Oh, sir.
Bishop. Okay. Bishop. This way. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right, so that is swearing in, and you hear what's in it. But let's listen to what he said immediately after the swearing in. Because he talked to the press immediately after the swearing in.
My immediate priority is to make sure that defense takes its place fully in the country. The synergy between the armed forces, and other security agencies, and all Nigerians being carried along, as we have always said, that security is everybody's responsibility. It is that synergy that we need to build on and work on it, and that's what we're going to. And I can assure you, within the shortest possible time, Nigerians will see results. I want to use this medium to appreciate all Nigerians. Nigerians have shown me love, and I will guarantee them that I am going to work whatever it takes to ensure that Nigeria is secured. Okay. Working together. Yes, I just met Mr. President, and he reiterated his mind on the aspect that we must make sure that Nigeria is secured. Nigerians should go back and sleep with their eyes closed, go back to their farms, schools open without being molested, everyone being carried together to make sure that Nigeria continues to grow in line with the renewed program of the Mr. President.
All right, so that's the Honorable Minister with his wife as she pull up on the swearing in, and he don't go back to his house. All right, so Dr. Katsa, make I take a reaction for the things the way APC talk, and especially because he did the time if you don't grant one interview when he be chief of defense staff, when he talk say anytime when Nigeria they like say they make small success, another problem will come. It be like somebody they sabotage Nigeria's success. So who be that person when no make Nigeria succeed for the fight against terrorism? So who be that person? Who be those people? So that the question Nigerians are supposed to be asked. Now, why you think say Oga for the job so far?
You have to understand the joy around Christopher swearing in as minister. Christopher Musa is a victim. He has had a lot of relatives killed in the genocide. He is from Zango Kataf. He suffered so much. His people suffered a lot during the Buhari presidency. They suffered the Christian genocide. Their people are Christians, and there was a genocidal action against his people.
That is Southern Zango Kataf is in Southern Kaduna.
Exactly.
Yes.
So he was amongst those who were complaining to the government about the killing of his people. So they now called him and said, stop being a complainant, go and solve the case. So while he was chief of defense staff, he couldn't do a lot of the things he thought of militarily because there were on top of him political decision makers. And those were, yes, under the notion
so
of
the ministers and minister for state for defense been there above them.
Exactly.
The executive
The minister of state, the minister, substantive minister for defense, and the national security advisors were purposely given as positions to Fulanis. President Buhari thought that these Fulanis will not be able to guide their people to stop the jihad.
That's President Tinubu.
Yes.
Okay.
So when these people could not stop this jihad and the American intervention came, he was now brought back because after he was retired, Tinubu recognized that this is still the man who is complaining. So if you really need to solve this problem, get a complainant.
But
And a
no, but
complainant,
you said something. And I need you to reiterate it. So I apologize. You say President Tinubu deliberately give the security apparatus for the hand of leave and for the hands of the Fulanis. That is the NSA, the
exactly,
Minister
he
for
did that on
Defense, the
purpose.
Minister for State for Defense.
He
So he leave
thought that,
them to the
yes,
Fulanis, thinking said then
yes,
the Fulanis go be resolve the problem around the jihad as you talk because then them be the
yes.
Fulanis.
That was what Tinubu did. He said
Eh.
that he is giving the Fulanis these portfolios so that they can on their own resolve this security crisis being perpetrated by their people.
Hmm.
Instead of what Tinubu gambled upon to work, no. They ended up frustrating Christopher Musa, who, as a soldier, was still under the authority and control of the civilian ministers who, under the democracy, were expected to have control over military men in a democracy. And this is how this played out. So Christopher Musa could not achieve a lot of his own. And one of the things he tried to implement was a reversal of the do not engage doctrine. The do not engage doctrine was an instruction to security service people not to engage with Fulani militiamen, no matter where you see them, even if you're informed by the indigenous communities that they are being attacked. The instruction of do not engage was a standing order. It's not that the Fulanis were invisible. The militias weren't invisible. If the soldiers were given the marching order, they will do it, like you're going to see in the next 6 weeks. Take that from me. All he took was that political will. But because President Buhari thought the lands he did not get from the legislature legally, he cannot get it anyway. So the militias were not employed. And Christopher Musa was a casualty because his people in Southern Kaduna were killed in their thousands. So he was amongst those in the army who was complaining his people were killed. But he could not do what he wanted to do because he didn't have the political control over the military. He has not been brought back. He now has the political control. So that when he now gives order to the military commanders, everything will be in sync. So it makes sense to remove Badaru. Badaru was a Fulani man. He couldn't get himself to give instructions against the Fulani militias. But Christopher Musa, being a Kataf and a casualty of this crisis, will be able to give the go-ahead, just like Ihejirika did. And the Fulani said,
Network again. Dr. Catch, I just hope say the network will just fit let us make up if we finish this conversation. Oh, because this one where they talk now, waiting a lot of us no get idea of say it happen. Even though some people get the idea, but it is good as it bring through light to the conversation here, make people understand. Waiting make President Bola Ahmed Tinubu fit take these decisions the way we say take with the different people we carry.
threatened that they will take.
Okay, sir. Hello, sir. Go ahead, sir. Can you hear us, sir?
Yes, as I was saying to you,
Okay, sir.
Christopher Musa
Mm.
has experienced the grief from having his people slaughtered. But
Thank
when
you,
he
sir.
was given a position as the chief of defense staff, he was undermined because he needed to succumb to the civilian control from the Ministry of Defense. So if he's now the Minister for Defense, of course, and he gives instructions to the military commanders on field, he will be able to tell them the position of the Ministry of Defense, like the reversal of the
dear. Oh dear. Not that network issue again. Not that network issue again. We do wish we can do without that.
evil
Okay, sir.
Christopher Mueller.
Mhm.
His duty now will be to implement as a policy of the Ministry of Defense a reversal of the doctrine of do not engage. It was the doctrine of do not engage that made all the indigenous communities to understand that the government was complicit in the ethnic cleansings and the genocide against the Christian communities. That's what happened. But President Tinubu understands now that the international community understands that if a community has information that they'll be attacked at about 4, 5 o'clock in the evening, and they manage to go to the offices of the brigade commanders, the company commanders or battalion commanders, and say, please, we are aware of this proper information. When that attack starts against the community, the army will look the other way. Because of that instruction, do not engage. Christopher Musa is known to have insisted that that order must be reversed. That's why his nomination elicited a lot of joy across Nigeria.
Thank you. Thank you so much as to help us throw
That is
light
the
into this
truth.
one.
My
Okay, sir.
own joy is when he walks and the Benue Basin is saved, then the East would not become vulnerable. Because my fear was if the Benue Basin falls, Eastern Nigeria becomes vulnerable.
But as in day like this now, remember say in junior minister na Matawale, it go dey possible for them to sir.
Matawale
Hmm.
will be eased off with time.
Hmm.
Matawale has nothing to do because the senior minister, the only problem about Matawale is he might be, a stool pigeon, sniffing on what the defense ministry says. When the other time the Americans came here and they prepared to storm the Boko Haram base, there are people inside the ministry who leaked that
Who leaks
story.
information to them?
And when the Americans got to where those people, they saw everybody wearing gas masks. Now that is where the danger is. Matawale may not be trusted that if he's inside that place and he's private to plans to attack a field, who knows? The fear might be that he may leak information to his people. You see, we are at war. That's why I'm blunt. And I've been this way since this crisis started.
All right, sir.
And we need to be very honest about these
So just
things.
to tell you, even in the midst of all of these denials from government, because government still they deny, say nothing like Christian genocide. The Reverend Cook they talk, say nothing like Christian genocide. If I Reverend Cook don't talk, say even if Christian communities them they attack back or they fight back or they kill back these people, say no go fit still end the crisis where they go on. However, in the midst of all of this, we did see systematic attack on religious leaders. There was an attack on the Cherubim and Seraphim Church last Sunday, where they used kidnap the head of the church of Cherubim and Seraphim with some of the members. Why then they in worship? Kidnap them, Bible, everything scattered for ground. That's Sunday. They never see release them. They demand 500 million to release them. We know of Venerable Edwin Achi, who was kidnapped in Kaduna State with a wife and daughter. They don't kill Reverend Achi. A wife and daughter still there before them till now, with them till now. They never release them. We get another Reverend Ezema just yesterday that was kidnapped again from Kaduna State again. So even with this denial, how many imams or sheikhs we don't face the kind of attack? So if you say Christian religious leaders don't face repeatedly. We see what's happened for the Kebbi girls kidnap and how the noise and efforts made by the grace of God, they release them. Till today, The over 300 students will be said they hold from St. Mary's Catholic Church. We never hear anything from them yet. The parents, they say no word from the kidnappers. Even though be say Ogari Badu get a meeting with the family, tell them, say, oh, your children are safe. Don't worry, they'll be released safely. The family is not going to know because they say no word from the kidnappers. So with all of this denial, right now, just today too, we hear say, oh, kidnappers don't release, Nigerian military fight gallantly to release or to bring out a reverend father from Plateau State, where be say kidnappers hold. A reverend father, Reverend Ephraim Yakubu from Plateau State. So this keeps going on and on and on. And then the government keeps saying there is no targeted attack on Christians. But if you look at the thing, like say they're one-sided, even though they attack Muslims, but then the equation they higher on Christians. But then Ebola, somebody like I'm not come account of saying no, he get evidence saying actually more Muslims now they face the consequences of the attack past Christians. Make I let you speak to this quickly, especially with what they happen with the United States now, before we move on to other issues.
Well, it is sad. Every human being has his price. As I'm speaking to you, I also know I have a price, but I pray that nobody ever tried me. Don't ever allow your conscience to be tried. I mean, lucky I ask people, I say, all these people, they go and try and buy them over. Why nobody buys me over? They say they know you. You will not change. You are who you are. So allow Father Kuka. Kuka is human. What you have seen is the weaknesses in us human beings. That's why I tell you, me too. Who knows what it is that will force the weakness in me to. I do not speak in that all human beings are perfect. Nobody is perfect. Everybody has his breaking point. So let us forgive Father Kuka. But Father Kuka is not the only one. As you rightly pointed out here, Daniel Buala is from
He's also a
Southern
Christian.
Borno.
Yes.
He's also a Christian. So there will be Christians who will be bought by the system to go and try to put a narrative. That's why I told you we are currently in the narrative war. We push our narrative as I'm pushing, they will push their own to try to counter us. There is nothing wrong. One thing that we'll have, they don't have, is that we are enjoying the presence of the age of cameras. I thank Apple for inventing the smartphone. I thank Chris Jobs for making the camera an app on his iPod handheld device. And today we have the iPhone replacing the iPod and music as an app. It's the same way that camera is an app. That's the difference between today and the past. Another difference between today and the past. In the past, the crusades, the jihads were done, and killing was acceptable as a strategy to secure control and victory. In this day and age, when you get in jihad, you engage in jihad, of course, the jihad will normally go alongside the killings. And that's why we are now saying this is genocide. If you did genocide before, you go free. Today, you do genocide, you'll be captured on camera. And that's what we've done. A lot of what we are complaining about today, we have them captured on camera. And that's why I said, I thank Steve Jobs and Apple Computers for inventing the smartphone. And that is it. Today, the camera is an app on the old iPod device, and we call that the smartphone. So whenever we see this, we record them, and the United States has massive data on this. That's why no matter how they try to push back with their narratives, our narratives are backed by captured camera moments, even some in video roll moments. So no matter what they say, we have captured our pains in camera. And those pains that are captured in camera we now use as evidence to portray our assertions that there has been a Christian genocide in Nigeria. So that genocide against the Christians, what they're asking us is, what about Muslims who are also killed? I say, well, in the eyes of the Fulani, Hausas who are also Muslims, I consider that expendable. And those expendables, collateral damage, if they do not complain, and we, the Christians, are the ones who complain,
Oh dear.
so be it that the world hears us.
We
There
can't hear you,
is.
sir. I think there's something wrong with your audio. I can't hear you. There's something wrong with
I
the audio.
want. I wonder what's wrong with the audio. I can hear you very well.
Something with your
Can
audio.
you
I
hear
can't
me
hear.
now? Can you
We
hear
can't
me
hear
now?
your
You
audio.
can hear me. Well, if I can hear you. I can see
It's
you.
faint. It's faint,
Eh?
not very clear. We can barely hear you.
Are you sure? Can you hear me now?
It's very faint. I don't know what happened. Maybe you should log out and log back in again because it's faint. We can barely hear you. It's very faint. I don't know what happened. Did you try to get a call on your device? That may have also muted your device.
It said.
I don't know if you tried to get
Can
a
you reset it from?
can barely hear you. It's we can't.
Well, that is how.
No, we
That
can't.
is
No, we
technology for
can't.
you. You
We can't.
can't.
We can't hear you.
You can hear me.
No, we can't. We can't. All right. So we look forward to hearing you, and then we get back to that conversation. Yes, pocket of attacks all over here and there because we hear say a member of the All Progressives Congress APC, Saheed Adewale Oriade, was abducted yesterday Wednesday evening in Ibadan, Oyo State. Now, sources revealed that three armed men from Oriade into three armed men forced Oriade into a blue vehicle around 7 p.m. before speeding away and taking him out. So the violence, it be like say it just is spread around the group for inside the country. Hello,
I don't have.
I still can't get your audio clear enough. Abi, is
No,
it?
no. I bought some from Wuse
Yeah, this is
Market,
better now.
but I think I lost it here.
This is better. This is better.
Eh, because in your thumb just one, you know. It's all right.
This is good now. This is
So can you
better.
hear me now?
Yes, it's better. We can hear you now, sir.
Good. So I was saying we are
Mm.
grateful for the improvements in technology and the availability of cameras. It is because of the availability of cameras that we are now recording the genocide against Christians in Nigeria on cameras. And that is helping to make our case. And as I'm telling you too, we are now involved in the narration wars. They will try to counter our narratives, but we will sustain by showing more and continue to explain. There was and there is a genocide against Nigerian Christians. And we are very grateful for the intervention of the United States government, and we beg them to continue to do more. I assert that the Sokoto Caliphate is nothing but a terrorist organization, and it has no place in modern Nigeria. It should not exist in today's Nigeria. The past is gone. The age of settler colonialism is gone. If settler colonialism did not work in South Africa, in Namibia, in Mozambique, and Zimbabwe, settler colonialism should not work in Nigeria. I restate the Sokoto Caliphate is a terrorist organization,
This is the same
and I
thing that
say
was said
it's been
during
banned.
during a genocide protests, anti-Nigerian genocide protests in the US just this week. They said that declaring an end to the Sokoto Caliphate, that declaring that it's a terrorist organization, is it not a bit too dangerous? That's more likely calling the Sultan of Sokoto a terrorist sympathizer. Is that not a
What
bit
else has
dangerous?
he been?
Come,
There is nothing he
sir,
has been. The
now
Sultan
you
has
be the head
been.
of Islam for Nigeria, oh, sir.
There is nothing wrong with Nigerians seeking total freedom. Okay?
Eh.
Yes. The Sokoto Caliphate is a symbol of settler colonialism. And there's nothing wrong with Nigerians to insist that since settler colonialism failed in South Africa, in Mozambique, in Zimbabwe, that it should not be allowed to stay on in Nigeria. Settler colonialism failed everywhere and it was only sustained by the British colonial system and the Nigerian military establishment. Now that that is gone and we are in a democracy, settler colonialism has no place in Nigeria's democracy. I declare the Sokoto Caliphate to be a terrorist organization.
Oh, wow. Okay. Okay. All right, sir. I mean, make we move straight to other issues. Oh, by the way, before we move away from insecurity, for inside Enugu State, the chairman of Ozo One in local government area of Enugu State, Barrister Chijioke Ezugu, don't launch Operation Kwichiri, a special security force to strengthen the war against insecurity for inside Enugu State. Why people are commending this, that this is a welcome development, so that anybody will try their people or will try to attack their people, then go fit defend themselves. Now, some people they talk, say, in fact, Oga Christopher Musa say, waiting make it like say the Southwest, they more secured than other regions. And because of say the Southwest governors, irrespective of their political affiliations, they come together to try, they try to, form to try to hold themselves together and to try to defend their territory, their areas together. And this now, what's in South, South, Southeast, and other regions that never feel they do. With this one, where they happen like this, you think, say, if perhaps other regions then wake up, come together to protect their region, perhaps things will be a bit better as it did for Southwest.
Well, Nigerians are asking for a restructuring that allows the local people to take possession of their regions. You see, that's why you see us praying that the government allows state policing. The New York Police Department is a sign of state police. The Los Angeles State Department is state police.
Yes, sir.
So if state police, like we also have in London, the London Metropolitan Police is state police. Let the state, the local people be allowed to have their police themselves. These things you have are fashioned after the colonial system and shouldn't continue to exist in a democratic system as we do have or as we purport to have in today's Nigeria. So I believe that we should allow those local people in Enugu the right to take care of their own security and take care of their own affairs. That's why you see it does not make sense for us to have our thoughts about democracy and still have people pretending like settler colonialism, which the Sokoto Caliphate represents, to continue to stay with us is a misnomer. It has no place in today's Nigeria. It should go so that the Hausas can be free. As I speak to you today, no Hausa man is governor anywhere in Hausa land. As a consequence of the Fulanese continued appetite over the Hausas, today, Hausa land is home to humanity's largest concentration of children without access to formal education than anywhere else on earth. Because the Almandri system is similar to the madrasas you have in Afghanistan and Pakistan. That's why Nigeria has the most out-of-school children. So we need to start reforming these things. And the Sokoto Caliphate is one of the tools used to sustain the subjugation of Hausas all across northern Nigeria. The British have gone, the Portuguese left before them, the Fulani should also go. So continuing that kind of appetite in one part of Nigeria that stays there to sustain its own dreams about settler colonialism, I believe that is wrong. It should be brought to an end. So I support the people in New York protesting that that measure should be ended. It should be ended. It should be ended.
All right, sir. So let's move on to politics right now, where Peter Obi did for inside ADC and waiting they happen, because there's been a latest report concerning that, and people don't they worried since about waiting be Peter Obi place, where in would they enter now, where in no go enter now, waiting be the place of the PDP right now, and waiting they really go on. So as it take the Peter Obi presidential candidate of the Labour Party for 2023 elections, say the African Democratic Congress coalition is that they are faltering because it has yet to settle questions on zoning and rotation of key officers. Now, Oga P2P talked to some inside an interview with YouTube by Advocacy for Good Governance yesterday and Wednesday. Obi added that coalition must tidy up loose ends and agree on a shared direction for the country to move forward. Now, he said, today I'm a member of the Labour Party, okay, and I subscribe to the coalition, the ADC coalition, but for the 2027 election, and I believe in it. But as much as I believe in it, I need to know the fundamentals that we all agree to respect. But in all of this, there are still some fine lines that we need to respect. There must be, things must be done properly, where we must sit down and talk about where we're driving the country to. I think he said quite a lot in that interview. I don't know whether if you get an excerpt of that interview, make I play. I'm taking this into it, sir. Let's hope so.
Today, I'm a member of Labour Party.
Okay.
And I subscribe to coalition, ADC coalition for 2027 election.
Okay.
And I believe in it.
Okay.
But as much as I believe in it, I need to know the fundamentals that we all agree to respect. But in all this, there's still some fine lines that we need to respect, where things must be done properly, where we must sit down and talk about where are we driving the country to. Today we have what we can say unsigned agreements.
Okay.
About the presidency.
Okay.
Unsigned agreements about rotation of offices.
Okay.
Which is why if this person will come from here, this person will come from here, all those things needs to be organized. The reason why it needs to be organized is that if you don't do it, you create confusion for the future.
The election is almost here, and you people have not agreed. So what time are you not going to agree?
Forget about, even if it takes us 1 week to agree. We do. If Nigerians want this country to change, we can make a change.
There's a thing that the society desires is an answer. Now that answer,
people don't get worried. Say, I mean, time to go. When it be say go do that thing where you want to, when you want to take your decision, time to go. Because the APC, the PDP on its side, on the own side, still get problem. In fact, the problem of PDP just they deepened right now because Wike and its team don't back the faction, don't back the expulsion where they say they expel Makinde, Bala Mohammed and all that. While the PDP don't also give them their own expulsion certificate. So even I say PDP, the crisis never still resolved, and the ADC now only where we day. So how it will take people to be now? People are worried.
What I will tell you is very simple. The PDP has its problems. It is trying to get out of those problems. And if you remember what I told you some months ago, we're finally here. I told you PDP will never join an ADC that is not yet properly configured. It's an idea of what we could do for 2027. But we notice it has been hijacked by those who also cause trouble in the PDP. I told you a long time ago that whether we are inside the PDP that has now agreed to zone, or we are sitting outside the PDP and calling ourselves members of an alliance, that the fundamental and foundational issue that forced us into imploding the opposition in our democracy was the refusal by elements of the political establishment from northern Nigeria to allow the presidential pendulum swing to the south. And when they refused, we didn't want to stay inside and start fighting as others have done. We founded the obedient movement, and we got Peter Obi to head it as our candidate. And then from 8 months to election, in anger, we changed the course of the country. If the PDP has now zoned, and in the process, we welcome them. We believe that the PDP deserves to be given a good listening ear. We speak to them every time. They talk to me, they talk to Peter at the highest levels, and we tell them we are watching them.
So are you saying that the
So,
PDP is still in talks with
well,
Peter Obi right now? See, PDP still in talks with Peter Obi right now. Now, waiting you to talk.
take that to the bank. The PDP speaks to me, PDP speaks to Peter Obi regularly, and we tell them that we understand their pains as they go through this process of trying to take back the party. And we're talking to everybody. But remember what I told you some months ago. For anybody to be able to challenge the incumbents, you must consolidate the different platforms of opposition. Nobody can go it alone. So I think Abubakar's attempt to hold that will amount to nothing. Secondly, nobody will vote a Fulani man as president in the middle of the current Fulani war against the rest of Nigeria. So I think Abubakar doesn't understand the emotions and the feelings of Nigerians. That's what
I
I'm
think na
telling you.
Fulani person.
If they do not zone,
I think na Fulani,
if they
sir.
do not zone, you said,
I say I think na Fulani, sir.
can you? It's Atiku. Well, Atiku identifies with the Fulani. That's what it is. When you identify with a group and you say we're with them, you're this and that, we'll leave you as that. Whatever, you will hear one story one day. So for Atiku, it's a shifting story every day. We know, but our game is the political pendulum has been in the north for 8 years under President Buhari. Just like the Americans are saying, the country must respect inclusion. The sharing of power between Christians and Muslims should be respected. Atiku has been running for this election for the past 32 years. If in that 32 years he has not been president, I think he should not make himself the stumbling block against the Christians in the South. That's what he's been. Whether he's being used by some people to make sure Christians will not produce a president for Nigeria, I don't know. I don't know. But we believe Atiku Abubakar is responsible for the crisis of the PDP. He said he caused it because of Nyesom Wike. When we tried to speak to him outside the party in the ADC, where Nyesom Wike wasn't available, he still wouldn't allow the presidency to come to the South after 8 years of the presidency being in the North. We'll talk, he will tell you it is his right. And we try to remind him that slavery was legal, but it was unethical. It is also unethical for somebody to do certain things in his family, even if he could claim that those things are protected by the law. But I tell you, I remind you, slavery was legal, but it was unethical. So that's my word to Atiku Abubakar. He should come down his high horse and stop disrupting the opposition, and I'll allow the democracy to be as inclusive as it should be. Atiku has enjoyed inclusion in Nigeria. The reason why he should become an agent to try to exclude the Christian population from the South from having a go at the presidency, I do not know why. Only him has his own mindset, and only him can explain what he's playing out. I think it is time for Atiku to allow the presidency to stay in the South as it has come to the South, for the Southerners to have it as long as Northerners have had it, and not to continue to be a stumbling block to inclusion of the diversity of Nigeria in the governance of the Nigerian states.
All right, so where it can't lead Peter Obi now because people talk say time don't they go. I mean, we see a video of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu doing campaign and in campaign these things everywhere. People they talk say, wait, campaign never even reach. You don't see campaign vehicle. People like Peter Obi don't come out, come complain, say he did very insensitive. Even the ADC don't come and say he did insensitive for you to bring out campaign vehicles when he be say campaign never come out at all. And the body we're supposed to in charge of this kind of thing, like the INEC, never talk anything. They no see I'm like saying and something now be say the president even do. So clearly, waiting they happen and I say the APC they pursue election properly, they focus on 2027. So with that kind of focus, you not think say Peter Obi will do himself a lot of disservice with the indecision of where he really belongs to at this time.
I will say that only the APC people can explain the reasons for their actions. That's what I tell you, the impunity within Nigerian governance systems. Those in power are not respecting the laws. But they only them have a reason for why they are acting in this kind of desperate ways. And I will continue to tell our people to act within the laws. Wait until when the campaigns are declared open for you to start doing this. But before then, we'll continue to lend our voices to shape how the country is. I want to remind you, we did 2023, we did it with only 8 months to election. Today we have 2 years going before election. So I don't think we need to be in too much of a hurry. I will enjoy everybody not to be rushed. I will ask Nigerians to hold on until when we come out to announce what platform that P2B will run on. Until that time, we are who we are.
Right. Okay, Nigerians phone lines are open. Let's begin to take your thoughts and reactions on the conversations we had. I think we had quite a couple of conversations and we'll be feeling all of them finished. So fortunately not everything for inside our headline I would touch on for obvious reasons because the to read them for inside headline so plenty so no go fit touch all of them. But phone lines they open. We could begin taking our calls and reactions to this conversation. And we say and I will get plenty question one I will ask them to catch. Oh yeah, we're gonna begin asking those questions. And phone line they open. And if you call the WhatsApp number 0817 029 4077, it's already pinned in the comment section. So look at the message they pinned inside the comment section. So call that number 0817 029 4077, or you follow the link waiting for inside the posts. The pinned post make you enter straight into the studio for you to fit ask question. Okay, we get Dr. Chris Inema. Dr. Chris, good evening and welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you so much. Can you hear me?
Very well, crystal clear. Go ahead, sir. Shoot.
Okay. Well, I'd like to, thank Dr. Nonuja. I think he's doing a very good job. He knows this thing very well, and I always tune in to listen to his gospel. Now, I have a question for him about the gas deposit in Imo State. Since he's from Imo State, is there any gas pipe to the east from that gas plant?
The gas master plan was designed in 2016 by Minister Ibeka Chukwu. In the original design, yes, there were pipelines that were supposed to pass through eastern Nigeria to provide pressure so that gas could go around the east. But when President Buhari, in 2019, he totally deleted eastern Nigeria, southeast of Nigeria, where the gas deposit is, from gaining any pressure pipe from the gas line. But it is being corrected presently by Governor Hope Uzodinma, who has now caused gas from that particular gas field to be piped to the new 385 megawatts electricity generating plants at Haji. The Haji plant, it is there. The gas plant was started by a generating plant was started by President Obasanjo. It has now been handed over to the states. President Buhari did what he did and excluded the southeast. It's just to tell you the nature of state capture and the kind of subjugations that the southeast was put under by the administration of President Buhari. But I'm aware that that Governor Hope Uzodinma has now caused gas from that particular gas field to be piped to the 385 megawatts generating new electricity facility in Imo State. So that's what it is. Yes, Buhari has gone. Yes, the governor has caused that to happen. And I think with time, the Southeast shall be connected to the gas master plan. No matter the mindset and the thoughts of Buhari at the time he did what he did, I tell you, government is a continuum. And whatever it is that Buhari didn't do, we can do now. So it's just like in provision of other facilities and amenities to the Southeast that has not been done by the Nigerian state. I promise you, as the time goes on, they shall all be restored to the Southeast, like things like the railway plan. When Minister Amechi built the railway plans, he didn't even allow any railway lines to come to the east, where he's from. Instead, was busy building a railway line to Maradi in Niger Republic, just to make President Buhari happy, because President Buhari is from Niger Republic. That's how bad Nigeria is. Nothing goes forever, just like the American intervention. If anybody told those who have used violence to seize power since 2015 that Americans shall wake up one day and then remember them and remember Nigeria, they wouldn't agree. But that's the natural way of things. Change is the only thing we must always remember that is inevitable in human existence.
So my next question is the question on the railway from Port Harcourt going through the Abia State that the minister had to suspend because he wants to be a governor, and so he suspended that link between rivers and towards Abia State because he wants to show his people that he wants to be a governor. Is that a true story?
No, I've not heard of that story. What I can tell you is when you see suspensions of provisions of amenities to the east, it's just the fuller picture of the Nigerian state in its weaponization of subjugation protocols against the southeast. It's got nothing to do with minister or anything. It will come when it will come. Just understand, change is one thing that whenever it comes, just like you see, Trump has come. Nobody knew that Trump will come. And when Trump comes, this is what we get. And I can assure you, if the Americans maintain their stay in Nigeria, time shall come when, because of the American intervention, all regions in Nigeria will be treated equally. Take that to the bank.
Yes, that one I agree with you. I agree with you on that one. But I think we all, I think we are yet to know the extent of what Buhari did to Nigeria. Buhari did a lot of havoc in that country, and nobody has been able to. I guess even when he was in power, people didn't even say anything. Nobody said anything. That man did a whole lot of things, a whole lot bad things to Nigerians. And only history will judge that man for what he did in Nigeria. Thank you.
All right,
Thank
thank
you.
you, Dr. Chris. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining us. T.Y. Danjuma, good evening and welcome. T.Y.
Good
Danjuma.
evening. Good
Welcome.
evening, Precious. Good
Welcome.
evening, Dr. Koch.
Thank you very much,
I
TY.
see the code they deal with you. Sorry, I'm out of that zone. Now,
It's
I sweat they deal with me now.
look at that. I have a question for welcome back home. I have a question for Dr. Koch.
Okay.
Doctor, I have listened to you and always very vibrant and forthright with your views, unapologetic. But my question to you, looking at the appointment of General Chris Musa as the defense minister, now to boss those who were bossing him, if you know what I mean. If you structure as peace, it does appear to me as nothing really has changed because the entrenched interests that I see in the ongoing or the factors that are fueling insurgency, banditry is still there. Do you think, how much do you think that the general can do in trying to reverse the situation and tackle aggressively this whole scourge of insurgency, terrorism, banditry, and kidnapping that we have in Nigeria? That's my question.
Well, I will tell you for that question, the key in all this is American intervention. The American intervention is what is forcing President Tinubu to do what he should, as Americans are giving him 60 days, within which to turn things around, or they will come and help him do it. So, General Musa's survival is premised on the support he will get from President Tinubu. And that's why I tell you, the heat from the Americans on President Tinubu will get him to make sure that General Musa succeeds. So there are no two ways about that. With President Tinubu there, General Musa will be able to overcome the obstacles that shall be in his way from the entrenched interest. And you see, we're talking about exposing names of those who sponsor and act as patrons for terrorists. And then you're having a legislator tell you, we don't have to expose names. You don't have to do this. That's simply to tell you that there are entrenched interests that will fight back. Of course, they will fight back. Our society is not going to get good automatically, no. We will need to work on it for it to get well. And that's what I believe shall happen. I am only optimistic. I'm optimistic that due to the American pressure, that President Tinubu will support General Christopher Musa to succeed.
What is your reaction to the claim in some quarters that the appointment of the general is basically to starve off any stay off and starve off what is being perceived as an approaching American intervention in the way that will totally cause disruption, particularly in the circle of those who are financing or who are sponsors of terrorism?
What I can tell you in regards to that is those people, that's an opinion. But then the most important instrument in this business is President Tinubu's realization that with the Americans right now breathing down his neck, that the only way he will have as an option to survive is to do the right thing within the 60 days window that he has been granted by the Americans to perform. So I tell you, I'm optimistic that he will perform. I speak because I think for the good of the country, that it is in the best interest of the country that President Tinubu hearkens to the voice of the Americans and do the right thing.
Thank you.
Does that answer your
Thank you.
question?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Benjamin. All right. Let's see. I think I've got Mr. Mope here. Good evening, Mr. Mope, and welcome.
Yeah, greeting everybody. Greeting
Welcome.
my dear brother, Mr. Kachi. It's nice to have you on this platform. Like I always, always present and delight me to come and ask you some question. So it's going to be three part to my question. One of them is going to be concerning my state, which is I believe is your state to Imo State. It's about the annual plant in Imo State, which I heard is the largest. So how do you see that, is that an economical boom to, to our state? From what I heard, I don't know if it is a speculation that Imo State has the largest proven gas reserve, but there's other places like, River, Delta that have reserve, but can you attest to that or just not proven? And the economic impact too, please. That's one. You want to answer that before I go to the politics, or just put them together?
The gas field is estimated to hold, as at this minute, 86% of all gas deposits known in Nigeria. That is just an estimate. We've not gone further to measure its volume. It was accidentally discovered, and it is the reason why Shell is still in Nigeria. Shell has left all operations everywhere. Shell is only in Nigeria, only at Ohaji, at the Anon North field, because of the gas. So Shell is there with Simplat, and we know they know what they're doing. So we are watching. The economic impact it brings to the states will simply be calculated in me telling you nothing you have is good or bad. It depends on how you use and apply what you have. In the past, the gas and petrol that we've had in eastern Nigeria doesn't reflect. We don't see it. Some people from outside the east come to take it. That's why we said if the Americans are coming because of the gas, so what? Currently, we don't see it. When we don't see it, we don't gain from it. If Americans will come and hold it and then provide us security guarantees so that we are not occupied by jihadists, that for me is much better than to be dominated and occupied by jihadists. So let us not think that the security threat we have hanging over us all Nigerians is stopped. Let us also pray that the jihadists are defeated by the Nigerian army. Now they are being asked to do what they should have done since. I also want to reassure you that the Nigerian army has the ability to do very good jobs if the political will is there to allow them to do it.
Okay, thank you for that. So let me pivot to my next question before I ask Obi, because you're talking about I'm talking about the condition given by the Americans. I think about 5 or 6 conditions. Do you think Tinubu will be able to meet that condition? I have my doubt because, in my own opinion, he's a captured president. I don't mean to demean him. What I mean by a captured president, he's being controlled by particular ethnic group, probably the Kabad from the north. So because of political capital, based on 2027. The reshuffle of the cabinet appointment of General Musa or something like that, it's a welcome, it's a welcome an addition. But I don't think anything will come out of it until they are just addressing the symptoms. Until the real perpetrator, the sponsor of terrorism, which Tinubu has not been able to release the 12th name or more than the 12th name. Don't you think it's a window dressing? And in my own opinion, I live in America. I don't think American government is buying it because they have more data, they have more statistics, more than the Nigerians do. So, what's your opinion about that, sir?
I am not a clairvoyant person. I cannot predict tomorrow. All I can tell you is I'm aware of what you are aware. The Nigerians, the Americans have given us 60 days. Would we be able to perform by then? If I'm optimistic, as I always am, I will say we will be able to, because there is no war between the North and the rest of Nigeria. There is no war between Muslims and Christians in Nigeria. What we have is a jihad strictly by Fulani people, and they don't have the numbers. If the whole of Nigerians will close their gap and come together, we'll defeat the Fulani within 60 days. I believe that is possible. If we're able to achieve that, the other things, I wouldn't be too much to do. So the President Tinubu is under pressure. I know that. I am also aware that to be an ally of the United States is very dangerous. To be an enemy of the United States is a dangerous thing. But to be its ally, Kissinger said, is fatal. So in any way you choose, we're not in a very good place. The fact that the US has now focused its flashlight on us, and of course Nigeria is a divided country as it is due to the war by the Fulani, and the fact that our democracy has been undermined by attempt to force Nigeria into one-party state system. We're not good. We're not doing well. We're only hopeful that the American intervention shall make things better. That's all I can say for now.
Okay, thank you. And lastly, it's about Peter Obi. So let me make my statement. What I'm about to say, I hope I'm wrong, okay? Because of what I have been seeing, about Peter Obi, he's still my favorite in Nigeria. And I believe he has, he has spotted, recently or faded, he has become a kingmaker instead of a king. And surprisingly, that's how I think, that resurgence is less likely. I don't know if it is. But finally, there has been some talking point, from different angle that politically Obi is dead. But 2027 might be a make or break up a break year. So what do you think on that in that references of that, analysis that I just laid down?
What I will tell you is Peter Obi is fine. Peter Obi is good. We did what we did in 2023 with only 8 months to election. Today we have far more time going to election. Nothing has changed. If there's anything that is changed, it is there is more discontent today against incumbent government than there was in 2023. So whenever Peter Obi settles on the platform to be used, Nigerians who believe in him shall run to join him. And I want to advise you to keep hopes alive and be very optimistic about tomorrow. Don't ever write us off. Because if we could do what we did in 8 months to election 2023, now that we have more time, we can negotiate better and we can create a larger alliance. Let's keep going where we're going. Peter is just better than he was before. Has grown better, has learned more, and is much, 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 much careful today than he used to be before.
Thank you, Dr. Kachi. It's always delightful, to hear your opinion. Thank you very much. And Precious, same to you, please.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So, Dr. Catch, still going back to this ADC conversation, a lot of people, they're very worried. Why the zoning issue they important to Peter Obi? Because some people, they talk, say, why in no fee fight? Some people have the opinion that he just wants the presidential ticket to be handed to him on a platter.
No.
He doesn't want to do the politicking of getting the presidential ticket.
No, no.
That's what people are saying.
There is nothing to be proven.
He just define it and just nominate and give him the candidacy.
There is nothing to be proven.
So why is ADC a problem? Why? Yes, sir.
If you are the most popular politicians in Nigeria, you have to be careful. And that's what Peter is. So he's careful. He's playing his game. It's not an issue of picking a fight. It's not an issue of coming to the motor park early. The man who comes to the exam hall first doesn't end up scoring the best mark. So what Peter is doing is good. He has his strategy. Let us watch him. People can say what they want. Those are personal opinions. Let's keep watching. The good thing is we came to know him as a presidential candidate, and that's what he is. When he announces the platform upon which he will be running, then you will see the reaction. Wait until that time. Don't rush yourself into something else.
Mm. Okay, because some people go on understand why it be say what is the big deal. I mean, if the entire people, political parties don't come together, say let's form a coalition to unseat APC, why shouldn't Peter Obi also join to embrace that and join them wholeheartedly? Some people will be say be the drag leg like Erufai, Atiku Abubakar don't finally join the movement. Why did they had them to join the movement? This now worries where some people get, and they feel like the more time they waste, the more it will feel they lose his steam. Where be say it's supposed
It's
to.
all right.
Question.
They have done their actions in line with their plans. Allow Peter also to show you his own plans. He doesn't have to jump into their plans. He should have his own independent plans, and that's what he's exercising. And so far, we who like him are with him. So leave that alone.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Catch. I'd love to leave it here. We'll see you again next week. And by then I know say more
Thank you
things are
very
gonna
much
happen.
for having me. I'm grateful. It's good to be
Amigo,
with you.
thank you. You shall be hearing from me within the next 30 days. You shall hear from me within the next 30 days. I can assure you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. So I appreciate you. Do enjoy the rest of your evening.
Okay.
It's always a great
Thank you
time.
very much.
Thank you, sir. Good
Bye-bye.
night, sir. Bye, sir. Good
Good.
night. Good night.
Thank you.
All right, Nigerians, it's been a pleasure always to be with you guys. Oh, by the way, by popular demand, I have been mandated to do a giveaway to 20 people on this platform. But you must be resident in Nigeria. Not vex, not because of say I don't like abroad people, but not because of say abroad people life. Somehow your hard work is rewarded, your talent is rewarded. But for those Nigerians, in spite of the difficult situation for Nigeria, one and they make out time to sit down, carry on a data, they watch this show. We get surprised now. Someone on this platform has decided to give 20,000 naira each to 20 people on this platform. And I'm going to let you in on how you can win that in the coming days. I'm not going to also forget, say, as a way where they like to start my year every year. For those who don't know me way back, they don't know that reason I did do. This 1st of January, that is my birthday, I intend to reach out to the IDP camp. I have my personal donation to them. And because I get very huge dream on at least resettling 1 or 2 people from the different IDP camps from Benue, Plateau, and Southern Kaduna, I did count on your support so that we go fit do more things. If there's just a little I can do by myself, but with your help, we can do more. I'm still trying to figure out how that money will be, or the accounts the money will be paid into, and I'm working on something. As soon as I work out the modalities, I'll let you know. But I want us to be able to touch lives as we're starting the year. And of course, personally, I will make my own donation and I will show that the money where I donate. I need to do it for mouth because now waiting I did do by myself. And I just hope, say, with our support, we will feel reach out to as many people as possible. And also people around us will be saying things they have. There are people who can't even, who don't know where their next meal come from. And they always they pay me. Me and a person will be said they carry this kind of matter for my head. So I hope say by the next time we will come here, by next week thereabout, we will fit and don't sort out these things together and fair handle them. But at the meantime, I'd like to say a big thank you to all of you for your unalloyed support. You guys are wonderful. Thank you so much. As soon as they always stand by me, as soon as always stay here, they always watch us every time of the day. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you for your support. I appreciate you for the confidence you have in me. I appreciate the backup and they give the guests the more they bring for this platform. God go bless you. Your water no go run dry. The water where you go drink no go run past you. I go see you again tomorrow evening. Tomorrow is Friday, so Prince Francis Chilaka joins us tomorrow evening. And then on Saturday, Mr. Nosike joins us. Sunday, he joins us. Oh, by the way, I didn't tell you guys. Okay. So on Monday, I'll be having Alaji Majid. Alaji Majid will be joining us on the show on Monday, and it promises to be an amazing conversation with him. He's giving us a time for Monday, but we'll strengthen that during the weekend just to be sure that, just to be sure of that appointment. Aladin Majid Tahiru will be joining us on Monday, and it promises to be a great conversation with him. He's somebody that is very outspoken, that is very vocal about the things that happen for Nigeria in terms of politics, in fact, everywhere in the country. He joins us on Monday evening. I'll let you in on the time once I fine-tune the conversation with him over the weekend, but he's giving us a date for Monday, and of course, it promises to be a great conversation. I'd like to say a big thank you for everything we've been on it. Who talk this? I say precious 20K now only $14. Now, why it make me not involved when I way there abroad now? I'm not saying a chicken change for now. I don't go do anything for her. But 20K can actually do quite, something for some people here. Instead of me to carry the entire 200K, just give one person. We could share the 200K among 20 people. It will make more sense, fast. And I'm not thinking like that. If you just say it's too small, if you add your own, so that we give more people, I beg. If you add your own, if you vex, add your own 20K. 200K, so that we can't give 40K to the people then. You don't understand? I beg, because we'll get to give people. If you must win it, if you're from Obudo, that means you must be showing us that you're gifting it to someone that is in Nigeria that really does need it. That's the only condition that we can accommodate an Obudo person to win it. So at the meantime, I'd like to say big thank you to all of you. Protect your mental health, because he who worries about Nigeria problem and runs away lives to worry another day. You want to be alive to worry about Nigeria problem, right? So so please, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. I love you so dearly. Protect your mental health. See you tomorrow evening by God's grace. Good night and God bless you. Let's continue to speak for the growth and development of our nation. If you've not liked this post, wait for now. You need to pay money now. You don't need fear for your finger now. Or press the like button. Share this post, like them, share them. Make more people see and make them continue to know what's in the happen for inside our country. I love you. Good night and God bless you. Bye.